Developing these habits at a young age creates a foundation for a lifetime of saving. Involving our children with saving plans, money management skills, they prepare them for a solid future. Parents should teach their children about financial matters so that when they head out into this world, they can avoid the pitfalls, which can lead to financial devastating circumstances. With an early start or saving, it makes an understanding of a budgeting program, of children having to, how to basically save and also plan and organize themselves while they head out into adulthood. So, early saving program for the children would definitely make them very, very superior adults and very knowledgeable adults, and also knowing the prime importance of saving, which all sums down to financial literacy, about which CBS is speaking about, our Honorable Prime Minister is speaking about it. So I think that is something which we need to get into, financial literacy from a very early age, which actually sums up to teacher safety. So the value of saving. Now, how do we teach our children that? From a very early age, it's very much possible how you can introduce the saving concept to your child. See, we need to tell them to differentiate between need and want. Something which we need, which is a necessity, over something which we want. We want it because we feel a vocation, a cool gadget is something which we want. That is more like a want rather than a necessity. So as a parent, you can speak to your children. You can show them your workplace. You can show the work which you are doing. You can talk to them about how you are earning, the way you are, planning for the savings, the way you are planning for the future of the family, for their future, etc. It needs to be, conveyed to them in simple terms. If the child is small, it's a simpler way of conveying to them. And if the children are grown up, then you can talk to them as one-to-one, as adults, But talking to them, making them understand that there is a difference between what is a necessity for which they are working, and there's something which they want, which can be done at a later date, or maybe they can do it when they start earning. They will understand the meaning better then. But we need to introduce our children to the idea of it. So one very simple process is if you can take your child to your workplace and show the kind of work you are doing. Secondly, also, introduce them to a project. When one very simple project is, if you give them the budgeting of the house, you have a household expenditure every month, and you ask your children to plan for it, the groceries, the vegetables, other bills which have to be taken care of, a simple diary to be maintained of every expenditure which is being done, and you already have a budget for XYZ, this is what we are going to spend on household expenditure, and then they have to relate to it, how things might go as planned, or there might be an exigency where they would have had to, get extra money. So then you talk about saving, because the concept is that you save something for the future, but you also save something for exigencies in the family, something which might just happen out of the blue and you need the money for it. So again, simple budgeting inside the house helps the children to understand the concept of budgets, of savings, expenditure. Taking them to the market, you take them to a shopping mall, you take them to a mall per se, and every expenditure which is being done, weighing the pros and cons of buying something, looking at the different GST angles, looking at the kind of discount you're getting, weighing the option of really, do I need it or can I wait later for it? All these things, plus when the bill is coming, always checking the items, checking the cost of it. These are very simple things, maybe not linked with saving in some cases, but I'd always advise, when you're going with the children to a mall and you're buying something which is like a grocery, they should always check the date of expiry, the use date, the kind of ingredients which are there, the cost which has been marked, we call it the MRP, what is the discount, how to calculate it. Not per se saving as such, but again leading to the concept of saving and leading to the concept of mathematical component there. So these are the things I would really advise that children are exposed to in a school They can go with a project. At home also the parents can do it. The senior, the uncles, the elder brothers, sisters, they can always help the kid to understand it. Because this kind of financial literacy is the need of the hour. When the child starts saving or understanding the concept of saving from a very early age, it helps them to build up on his financial knowledge. The management skills come into place, and eventually the child will understand how important it is to save. So it is not a one day's work. It is something which has to start, as I said, when the child starts understanding numbers. Because as soon as the child is understanding numbers, somewhere or the other, the concept of money is coming into place. And when money comes into place, then obviously we're talking about expenditure, we're talking about saving. So the concept of expenditure is very clear to them, that they can give money and they can buy something. But I feel our children lack a little in understanding how the saving has to be done. As adults, we know that 30% of our income is supposed to be as a saving. We should do it, which is kind of a thumb rule. But does the child know that? You don't need to explain to them a 30% concept rule, but at least you can explain to them that how saving is going to help them. I think, doing simple exercises where we are talking about spending and saving, rather than using the term of, removing and adding. If we use terms like spending, saving, this also gets them into the mold of understanding how financial management is supposed to be there. So definitely we need to teach the children to save a day, the way the concept goes, but also make them understand financial literacy. It's not just about saving, as I said, they need to understand the whole program, and from an early age. So it can start with a piggy bank. It can start with, okay child, you are going to save and you're going to get a certain amount of money at the end of the day, like after a few months, after a year or something. And slowly the concept starts building inside them. And they need to take responsibility, because when they grow up, they will understand why saving is important. And if the concept is already inbuilt in them, it would come automatically in their own expenditure and saving. So signing off by saying it is important that they understand financial literacy, they understand the concept of saving.